Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Duncan and this is...
And I'm Paul.
I like that, Paul. And today, guys, we're going to teach you Warhammer Underworlds, a fast-paced, action, tactical game that you can play with your friends and family. It's super simple to play and easy to get into.
All right, so all you need to get started is a couple miniatures, a couple decks of cards, the character cards, and some dice, as well as some boards. All this can be found in any of the starter boxes.
And if there's certain armies that you are looking for, you can find them in expansions. And it doesn't matter where you find the cards, because usually a lot of the teams or the boxes themselves come with the card set, ready to play right out of the box.
All right, so you'll have two sets of dice here. You have attack dice and defense dice. Each side is slightly different. You have crits, hammers, swords, single support, double support on the attacks. The difference on the defense is going to be shields and dodges. So there's also a third set of war dice. They're used for magic. Not every warband uses magic, so we won't be covering them here.
I'm going to be running the Sepulchre Guard, and Paul's going to be running...
I got Ripper Snarlfangs.
Ooh, these are two good teams. For all intents and purposes, we're going to show you guys first how to set it up, and then from there, move ahead. That way we can get right into the game. Now that we got that out of the way, guys, we're going to roll for initiative. You're going to take the dice that we just showed you, pick 4 of them up, and you're going to look for crits, supports, or double supports. It goes down in that way. Whoever has the most crits, supports, or double supports will win the roll-off. All right, Paul, let's roll off.
Let's do it. All right.
Ooh, 2 crits.
2 crits, single support, and double support.
Man, you got everything.
Yep.
So it looks like he may win this, but let's see if I can match him. Ooh,
nope.
Nothing. So, as you guys can see right here, as we have everything, these crits is what you'll look for first, and who has the most. Since I have none, and he has more, he'll win this. But if these weren't to exist, and this was the next roll, and these end up being over support, he would still win, or we would tie, because we both have the same amount. But in that case, even if that happens, we go to the third one, which is double support, or he still would have won.
Yep. Since I won the roll-off, I get to choose the first board. Each starter set comes with 2 double-sided boards, and each one of them has a different layout of starting hexes, cover hexes, lethal hexes, and blocking hexes. I'm going to go ahead and choose this board.
Awesome. And now it's my turn, and I'm going to actually choose the Gnarlwood because it actually has cover too. So let's get these set up. We'll talk to you guys here in a minute.
All right, so I'll go ahead and set up my game board this side up. This will be my territory.
And now I will set this side of the board up because I want a little bit of stealth for my guys and a little bit of cover. Now, you don't always have to set the boards up like this either. You need to make sure when they're like this, you either need 4 hexagons connecting, meaning you can even connect it like this if you wanted to, or even shift it more drastically, or for some of those who really like to get crazy with it, all the way up here, that you still have 4 full hexagons together. Now, even if you do want to play that way, you can also go 2 hexagons like this, allowing you a little bit more strategy when you're playing against other enemies and teams, because some people got range and they don't want to get up in your face.
So next you'll grab 5 numbered tiles, turn them face down, shuffle up. All right, so we'll shuffle them up.
Shuffle them real good.
Yeah. And then the player who won the roll-off will get to place the first one. You place them face down in any hex that is not a starter hex, a cover hex, a impassable hex, or a lethal hex. You also cannot put them into any of the edge hexes unless there's no other legal spaces. So Duncan, if you wanted to place the next one.
Perfect. Well, now remember guys, when you place the hexes, it doesn't matter where you place them. You can place them in your territory or enemy territory if you want to. Well, I'm a greedy person who likes objectives, so let's go with one right here.
All right, I'll place mine right here.
Okay. And let's go semi-middle grounds. All right, you got the last one?
And the last one will go back here.
Perfect.
All right, before placing any miniatures, we're going to flip the objectives face up, see what we're working with.
Ooh. All right, objectives.
All right, right, so in Underworlds, we work with 3 different types of cards. First of all, we have character cards. They have 2 sides, a regular side and an inspired side. The different characters have different ways to inspire, and the inspiring usually makes their stats better and they make them more powerful. Then you have a deck of 12 objective cards. These are going to be the gold ones. This is how your warband is going to win. Then you have a deck of 20 cards of plot cards and enhancement cards. Half the deck has to be enhancements.
So now that we got those cards going, what we're going to do now is actually shuffle up our decks. So you're going to take your objective cards, and you're going to take your deploys, equipment, and your gray cards, and shuffle them up too. All right, now that we shuffled our cards, we're going to draw 5 of the gray ones, which are usually objects, ploys, upgrades, and different things that you can use throughout the game. The other ones you're going to draw are 3 of the golden cards. These are your objective cards. These objectives can be scored in multiple different ways depending on which army or which warband that you actually have. Some will require that you go into people's territories. Others are straight up about murdering people, like the orcs. But nonetheless, we're going to see what ours are. So let's draw our cards.
All right, to get your starting hand, you can discard any number of those cards you just drew and then draw back up. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll dump that one and draw. Then once that's done, you shuffle the discarded cards back into the deck. And here are my 3 objectives.
And these are my 3 objectives. All right, guys, so now it's time for us to do the roll-off initiative. This is now to determine who actually places their pieces first. You're going to go by the same rules that you did before to determine initiative. So in this case, it's time for us to roll off again. Ooh, you got that crit on me. So we're going to do. And I got none. So as you guys know, Paul won the roll-off because he got the crit. If we were to go down from there, we'd be looking for solos. We didn't get it. And afterwards, double support. But since he got the crit, he's got the roll. So now it's time to place our figures.
Since I won the roll-off, I'll place the first figure. This little guy is going to go right here.
All right, and I'm going to take my captain, place him right over here.
I will place him, I will place my leader right here.
Okay, and I will take my guy over here. We're going to go with, oh, you know what, let's put my champion. Actually, I'm champion right here and place him here.
And I'll place my last miniature right here. Since I placed the last miniature and my warband first, I'll get a free crit on the roll to see who has priority in the first round.
All right. And since I have more, I will have at least more activations. So I will place my guys right here, here, here. And get this guy over here. And actually, I'll place these guys right here. All right. And now we're going to be drawing our cards and get into the game. All right, and now we're going to roll for initiative to see who goes first. Same rules apply, looking for those crits, solo supports, and double supports to see who wins off the roll-off.
I will get a free crit on this roll because I finished placing my warband first.
All right, so now that we rolled, set up to the board, got everything ready, Paul will be taking the initiative this turn for taking actions.
All right, so there's 7 actions that any of the fighters can do. They include move, charge, attack, pass, guard, draw a power card, or discard and draw an objective card. I'm going to go first, so I'm going to do a charge action with my bow guy.
Oh no.
All right, so I'll start by moving Menai here. 1, 2, 3. And then he has a range 3 attack, so I'm going to attack this guy.
Oh no.
All right, we're going to use Menai's Grot Bow attack. He's got a range of 3. He's looking for, or roll 2 dice, looking for swords, and it'll do 1 damage. And I get nothing, because I don't have enough supports. So No damage. Alright. I will, however, put a charge token next to the character. So these charge tokens means that the fighter will not be able to activate again until all my fighters have charge tokens, after which he will still not be able to move, but he will be able to make an attack action. Turn my thing down, and then I'll have the first priority to play a ploy card from my hand. So after my fighter's activation, I will have the first opportunity to play a card from my hand. I will choose not to, as I do not have anything valid right now.
And so it would go to me, and I would do the same. I would look for anything that I could play, if I scored any victory points, doing upgrades, or even just doing simple little ploys or gambits that you can actually do. But since I have nothing, I can't do anything. So
it's your fighter's activation then.
Okay, well now it's my turn to go. So I'm gonna look over here. Now usually what you want to do is check your objectives first. This will show you how to play. When you read over the objectives, it will show you what your first opening moves could be to how you even want to just stay still. You never know. The objectives can mean many different things, from holding one to attacking somebody to even just passing through items. So now based on my objective, I'm going to actually run up into these guys. And let's see, he's got a movement of 3, so 1, 2, so I need to go up here. I'm going to charge you guys, so I'm going to lay down one of my charge tokens. And now it's time to roll. So I will be using the Harvester. The Harvester is one of the people from my army that actually can do what's called Whirling Scythe. That gives him any characters that are adjacent from him, he gets to make a roll attack against each one. Now, not all of them have special abilities, but most of the characters in Underworlds does. So make sure to always check your cards and read them. All right, let's take that roll and see what we can get. Woo! We got ourselves a crit. Now usually what I'll look for is stuff like this from my guy for swords, because that's what I need. But for right now, that will do.
All right, so I will roll my 1 dice, looking for a crit. I do not get it.
Woo!
So I will take 2 damage.
Indeed.
Stab it failed to defend against the attack. The damage of the attack is 2. So I will now place 2 damage tokens on Stabit's card.
And now we're going to roll for the second guy and see if we can get any damage on him. Ugh, none. I only got the hammers, and as we know, my guy is looking for these double swords right here. So, unsuccessful. All right, well, as you guys saw, I didn't get any hits.
However, since he attacked Ripa, he triggered the inspiration trigger for both Stabit and Mean Eye. So they will go ahead and flip to their inspired side. Each fighter has a inspired trigger, and once you meet it, you can flip to their back sides.
Oof. And on top of that, he still retains the same damage as he did before when he gets inspired. Now, they will see definitely some perks and bonuses when they become inspired, but not all will always change it drastically. Sometimes it's just its stats, sometimes it's abilities, but you are always looking for your team to always inspire as soon as possible while playing the game. Alright, so now that it's my turn, and still haven't finished it and gotten to the end phase, but I have no more activation to do, I'm going to see if I can play any cards. Ooh. I do not, sir.
I, however, do. I will play my card Savage Mauling on Ripa. It says my first range 1 or 2 attack action made by a friendly fighter, the next activation has +1 dice and +1 damage for each supporting friendly fighter.
Oh, good lord. All right, and then it would come back to me, but again, since I have nothing to play, I would end my phase.
And that's the only card I'm going to play.
And we would continue on going back and forth until we reach the end of 3 rounds and totaling the complete victory points that we earn. Now, victory points, even though we didn't earn any last round, we can actually pick them up still while you're in the game, from killing or achieving our objectives at the end of each activation phase. So for all intents and purposes, we're going to play this a little bit faster. Now that we've reached the end of the phase, we're basically to take count to how many victory points that we got. Paul?
I scored 1 with Swift Hunters. However, you did deny me 2 for my Cruel Hunters by raising your guy back.
So you currently have 3 victory points.
I have 3 victory points.
And as for me, I wasn't able to achieve any of my objectives because they required that I was inside enemy territory or claiming at least one of the areas for my own with one of the land markers. But since I didn't achieve any of that, I wasn't able to. Now that we've counted our victory points for phase 1, we now move into the next part of it.
All right, so now we would get a chance to play any enhancements out of our hands with our newfound victory points. After that, we would discard any cards we wanted out of our hands and draw a fresh hand for them.
All right, and now that we've discarded all the objectives we didn't want and restocked our hands, we will now roll for initiative. This will allow us to see who goes first again in the second round, and from there, play it the same way that we did the first round. We would do this until we completed out 3 rounds, and at the end of 3 rounds, take total points for all the victory points that we scored from objectives and killing each other's fighters. At the end of that, remember guys, that any of the victory points that you did use throughout the game are not minus towards your total. So if you spent 3 of them and you got 15, you will still have a full total of 15. Only flipping them over shows that you spent them. And guys, my name's Duncan.
I'm Paul.
And we'll see you guys next time in the War Room.